All right, one of the big skills you need to learn is how to write an equation given only 2 points. In geometry, you learn that a line must contain at least 2 points. Otherwise, it's just a point, right? You can draw a line through any points, but a line must contain 2 points. So the minimal amount of information you need for a line is 2 points. Okay, so this is a really important skill. It'll be on every single test you ever take in math, standardized, ACT, SAT, any state test, it doesn't matter, it'll be there. So it's a good one to learn. It's also going to be a good one for me to test, all right? So writing the equation of a line given 2 points. Now this one they gave it to you graphically. So whenever you're given a line, a task of writing the equation of a line, okay, generally speaking, they mean to write it in this form, in slope-intercept form. And all you need is the slope and the y-intercept. That's it. Okay, so you go, oh, I have 2 points. I can find the slope. So you have a couple choices. If you have the graph, you could just walk it. Okay, you could walk the rise over the run. So here I'm going to walk up. I went to get from one point to the other. Remember, that's what the slope is. So I walked up 8 because I walked up 2 here and 6 more. That's 8. So the slope is equal to the rise 8 over the run. And I went 5 here plus 1, 6. So reduce it 4/3. So yay, I have my slope. So I can write y equals 4/3 x, but I still need my b. Okay, so really we're now in the situation that you were in the last set of notes. All you need to do is find the points. So all you need to do is plug in one of the points, okay, to find b. Now what you need to do then is you need to actually name these points, and let's name them. This is -5, 6, and this is 1, -2. It doesn't matter which point you choose to find the b, okay? Y equals, let's see, wait, ready? I'm going to pick this one because I like it better, okay? -2 is the y, 4/3 times 1, x plus b. -2 equals 4/3 plus b. Subtract 4/3 from both sides, and then you're going to get b. So here, I can put this over a common denominator, multiply by 3 to get that common denominator, and this becomes -6. So it's -6 minus 4 is -10. Hang on, I can actually move this up a little bit. Okay. -10/3. These cancel out, equals b. So y equals 4/3 x plus minus 10/3. See? Because 10/3 is b. All I had to do was find the slope and the b. Now, the thing is that if you're given, like in the next situation, that one was kind of nice because we had a graph, okay? But most of the time you won't be given a graph. You're just going to be given 2 points. So in my opinion, the easiest way is to use the slope formula. You should have this slope formula memorized. And if not, it should be in your notes for your easy access. Okay, I'm going to call this x2, y2 this time. And I'm going to call this one x1, y1. Okay, so x2, -6 minus 4 over -3 minus -1 equals -10 over -3 plus 1, which is -10 over -2, which equals 5. All right, that's the slope. Again, if you're given this, just start with this formula and tell yourself, wait, all I need is the m and all I need is the b. So look, use the slope formula to find the m. You found the m. There it is. It's 5. Put it in for m. That's what it is. Y equals 5x plus b, but now you need b. So pick one of the points, either point, it doesn't matter, and plug it in. I'm going to plug in this one. Okay, that's my x and my y. Okay, so y is -1. So -1 equals 5 times 4 plus b. See, now b is the only variable I have. 5 times 4 is 20. I got to get rid of the 20, so we're going to subtract it. b equals negative 21. So what's the formula? Y, or the equation, equals 5x, because that's the slope, minus 21, because that's the b. Okay, watch this over and over if you need to until you understand what I did, because that is a really important skill. Okay, this one, writing the equations of vertical and horizontal lines through a given point. Kids always have trouble with this, and it's really not as hard as it seems. Okay, hopefully from the project, you realized that horizontal lines have the equation of y equals, and vertical lines have the equation x equals. Now, if you don't remember that, it's okay. You don't have to. I don't remember it. Okay, I really don't. So let's pretend this is -7, -2. Okay, what this question is asking, it says writing the equations of vertical and horizontal lines through a given point. Write equations for the vertical and horizontal lines passing through the point -7, -2. What it's really asking you is it's saying like these are the crosshairs of this point, okay? Not the x and y. The x and y would be up here somewhere, okay? This is -2, so the x and y coordinates would be like this would be the x, okay? And this might be the y. This might be the x, and this would be the y, okay? And this would be like -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you aren't impressed that I just did that, you just are not easy to impress. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so this is the point -7, -2. Okay, it's asking you to name this line. Now, if you remember that y equals, you'd be able to just jump to that and be like, y equals -2. And if you were able to remember this, you'd be able to jump to x equals -7. And you will after the first time. But after what happens in the test when you're expected to remember this, okay? I'm going to give you a very cool trick. And please, please, please take note of this trick. It's actually, whoa, one of the best things I could give you. Okay, here's the trick. Name 3 points on the line. Okay, if you're stuck with a vertical and horizontal line and you can't remember whether it's x equals or y equals, just name 3 points on the line, any 3. So here's a point on the line. What is that point? It's -1, -2. Name this point. That's -3, -2. Name that point. -5, -2. Do you notice a pattern here? Do you see that you have -2, -2, -2, -2, and that's the y. Therefore, the name of the line is y equals -2. It's that simple. Just name 3 points and notice the pattern. Okay, so let's try this one. Name 3 points on this line. -7, -2 is 1. What is this one? -7, -1. What's this one? -7, 0. Do you see the pattern? In this case, it's x is equal to -7. In other words, you guys, look, to get to anywhere on this line, all you have to do is go x equals -7, and you can jump anywhere up or down, and you'll be on the line. Same way here. No matter where you go on the x, you're always going to drop down to -2. It's like they moved the floor down 2 feet, okay? And you're just dropping down every single time. Okay, let's see if you can try this one. Okay, pause it if you need to. Okay, for this one, okay, it's going to be x equals -8 and y equals 5. After you do the first one, it's easy. Okay, but again, if you were trying to name it and this were -8, 5, right? -8, 5. If I were naming points, this is going to be This is going to be negative 8, 6, negative 8, 7, negative 8, 8. In other words, x is always equal to negative 8. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, negative 7, negative 5, 6, 5, negative 4, 5, negative 3, 5, negative 2, 5. So if you were just naming points, you would see that y always equals to 5, right? If you graph it in a coordinate plane, you will be able to see that. All right, finding slopes of lines parallel and perpendicular, that's perpendicular, to a line given in slope-intercept form. All right, this is going to be a major skill. This is why I did the exit ticket that I did today. Okay, they're gonna ask you to find the slope of the line parallel and the slope of the line perpendicular. So all you need to know is that parallel lines have the same, these are parallel lines, same slope. Okay, so if your slope is equal to A over B of the slope of line 1, I'll put M1, meaning it's the first slope, then the second slope is going to be A over B. Okay, in other words, it's the same thing. The line perpendicular, okay, wow, I didn't do that. I tried to make it sideways. The line perpendicular, if this is L1, L2, and this is L1, okay, let's say the M of this is A over B. Well, then the M of line 2 is going to be equal to negative B over A. In other words, the slope of the perpendicular line is the negative reciprocal. Negative reciprocal. All right, so watch. If you have this one, first of all, you need to get it into y equals mx plus b form, or note that the slope is always the number that comes before the x when it is solved for y. So y equals, let's rearrange it, 4/3 x plus 3. This is the y-intercept. This is the slope. Okay, so A, what is the slope of the line parallel? Negative 4/3. It's got the same slope. What is the slope of the line perpendicular? Flip this and take the opposite sign. It's the negative of it. It's the opposite. Negative means opposite. So it's a positive. Instead of being negative, it's going to be positive. Okay, and no, we don't usually put the positive, but we could. Okay, let's try that. You can try this one. Okay, pause it if you need to. Okay, this is in slope-intercept form already. The slope is 1 because it's not there. This is actually a hard one for kids, and it's kind of funny because it's actually really easy. But because it's so easy, it turns into a hard problem. It's funny. A, what is the slope of line parallel? Okay, so parallel line, the slope is going to be equal to 1. It's the same. What is the slope of the line perpendicular? It's going to be what? Okay, look, this is 1 over 1. Okay, 1 is 1 over 1. Okay, so the reciprocal is 1 over 1, but it's a negative reciprocal. So it's negative 1. So the slope is 1, and the perpendicular line is negative 1. If you guys remember doing your project, this is the line y equals x to get there. It's a 45 degree. To get there, it's like where y equals x, like 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. That's how you get here, okay? If I take the line perpendicular, okay, I tried. Let me see if I can select this guy and move it. Okay, there, cool. All right, if I get the line perpendicular, okay, so just so you guys can appreciate this, to get to what point here, we go over 1, up 1. or okay, the slope is 1 over 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, this one is we go negative 1, up 1. So the slope is rise over the run, which is negative 1. Do you see? That is how we get this, okay? So this would be positive 1, slope is 1. This is slope is negative 1. All right, let's try next one. Now it says finding the slopes of lines parallel and perpendicular given in standard form. Okay, so this is why we did the activity today. You need to change this to y-intercept form. So we need to kick the 2x over. We're going to change the sign, jump it over, change the sign, divide everything by negative 9. And then there you go. Now we really don't care what the b is. Honestly, who cares? Negative divided by negative is a positive. And then always move the negative up. Positive divided by negative is a negative. Always move it to the top. Okay, again, we don't really even care what the b is. This is the only reason we're doing this. When you get a problem like this, they're only asking you to find the slope. Your job is to suck out this slope, okay? It says, what is the slope of the line parallel? 2/9. It's the same. Perpendicular, negative 9/2. Flip it and reverse the sign, okay? Make a note of it, whatever you need to do. Let's try this one. Again, go ahead and pause it and try it yourself, okay? I like changing colors. Okay, we're going to kick the x over. You're going to get negative 5y equals 3x plus 8. Divide everything by negative 5. And you're going to get y equals negative 3/5 x minus, who cares? We don't care what the b is. All we're doing this is so that we can find the slope. Okay, the slope is negative 3/5 c because we put it in mx plus b form. That's the m. Slope is not, x is not part of the slope. X is the number, the slope is the number that comes before x. What is the slope of the line? Ooh, look you guys, perpendicular. They asked it in the reverse order. Don't get used to their order. So the answer to that would be flip it and reverse the signs. It's now positive. And parallel, it's going to be the same. All right, last one, I believe. Is it? Yes, sort of. Okay, it's the last type of problem. All right, they're going to give you 3 lines. Okay, and what they want you to do for each pair of lines, look for the verbs, you guys. Determine whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. All right, well, so you need to be able to suck out the slopes from all of these. This one is already in slope-intercept form, so we already have the slope. It's 3/2. This one isn't there yet. We have to divide everything by 3 to solve for y. So this one is y is equal to 2/3 x plus 5/3. Okay, so what's the slope? 2/3. And line 3, I'm going to go ahead and do this, is 4x plus 6y equals 6. We're going to solve for y. Kick the x over, change the sign, divide by 6. Y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 1. Okay, so this slope is negative 2/3. All right, so now let's compare. I don't have the part that comes here, but it goes like this. Line 1 and line 2. Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Look, 3/2, 2/3. They are neither because they're not perpendicular because it has to be the negative reciprocal. Okay, line 2 and line 3. This is 2/3 and negative 2/3. Neither, because they're not parallel because they're not the same, and they're not perpendicular because they're not the reciprocal. Line 1 and line 3. So 3/2 and negative 2/3. They are perpendicular. They're perpendicular because they're negative reciprocals of each other. You can try this one, and then I'm going to do it. Divide everything by 5 to solve for y, and you'll get y is equal to 2/5 x plus, who cares? All we care about is the slope. There's a 2/5 slope right there, and this one we have to solve, okay? So we're going to move the x over, and we'll get negative 4y equals negative 10x plus 2. Divide everything by negative 4, and you're going to get y is equal to negative 10 over negative 4x plus 2 divided by negative 4. Let me go down. Now you're going to get y is equal to 5/2 because negative divided by negative is a positive, and both of these are divisible by 2. And then we don't really care, but this does become negative 1/2. You don't need the plus. We don't care. All we want is the slope. So now we have our slopes. Line 1 and line 2, look, 2/5 and 2/5. What are they? Parallel. Line 2 and line 3, neither, because there's no negative on there. Line 1 and line 3, 2/5 and 5/2, neither. Okay, and I think that's it for today's notes.